As fun as the holidays may be for some, it can often put a major strain on married couples, so much so that January is a landmark month for divorce filings to spike. It's a sad fact, but there is good news. You can start doing things now to make sure that your relationship is holiday proof. Sarah Davison is with us now to share more. Hello, welcome back.
Hi, friend. Thanks so much for having me back.
Yeah, so okay, holidays, that's on everyone's mind, but that means there's so many other things on our minds as part of this. What are the reasons that you see for the spike of divorces afterwards?
Well, actually in January we now have D-Day, Divorce Day, where they get the highest spike of people applying for divorce through the family lawyers. It is absolutely crazy. And the reason is that whenever you spend quality time with your partner, it puts pressure on a relationship where there's already cracks in the foundations. So if you've got a great relationship, don't worry, because quality time is really good for you. But if there are problems, then this is where sometimes the stress of Christmas, and there's so many different angles to that, right? That it can really start to fray the relationship. And that's why we see, actually Google released some information that on the Christmas Day afternoon are the highest number of people Googling, how do I break up with my partner?
Seriously?
Yeah, which is crazy.
It's like instantaneous then. Okay, so I like the analogy you used of, you know, a foundation that's starting to crack a little bit. How do you call in a repair person? How do you address this before everything crumbles?
Yeah, well, the good thing is you can do it yourself. So you can take your power back even if you are off track with your relationship and there are those cracks. You know, it's never too late. So first of all, don't let those problems fester, because if you do, that then sort of seeps into the woodwork and it really can cause problems. So really addressing the issues. And I've not met a spouse who is a mind reader, although I've met a lot of partners that think their partner is a mind reader.
Guilty,
So
guilty sometimes.
Oh, I think we all are. And
Yeah.
I think that's the important thing, is to realize and recognize when you're doing it and start to increase that communication. And if you can express how you're feeling and your opinions, that creates a safe space for each other to then open up and really improve that communication.
Okay, you called me out on thinking that our spouse can be a mind reader. Are there other areas where maybe we're setting our expectations too high and that's why we feel let down?
Absolutely. I see this all the time. Christmas holidays, for some people, are a chance to not work and put their feet up, have a few drinks, have friends around, relax. Whereas maybe your spouse thinks, well, actually you're going to be home more, so we can tag team with the children, you can help me prep the food, maybe you can do some of the shopping for the kids and the presents. And that's where the expectations, that when they're not spoken about, can be a real problem, and people start to argue over those points. So really having that conversation up front and working out exactly what your expectations are of each other, and compromising where you don't really agree is going to be really important.
That is important. I feel like I need to have a notepad and a pen with me to take notes on some of this. Let's talk about money.
Yeah.
The mean green, because I feel like that's one of the main things that people also argue about this time of year.
Yeah, because Christmas is so expensive, right? And there's always those extra things that you could get and extra money that you could spend. And I think when you've got partners, especially when you've got different types of approaches towards finance, some people are savers and some people are spenders. And if you're in a couple and you're mix and matching there, that can cause problems. So again, having that communication of what can we spend this Christmas? What is our budget? And agreeing to stick to that budget. If you're going to have these conversations, though, you've really got to work on sticking with it as well. So sticking to that budget, planning ahead, this is what we're going to spend, this is what we're not. Also around presents. Because some people come to me saying, I got a pair of slippers for Christmas, I'm really disappointed, I was hoping I'd get a nice necklace. And then they find out later, having discussed it with their spouse, they thought they were budgeting and keeping the money down. So again, having those conversations and being really open with each other about what you're expecting and what you want, as well as what is possible, is again something that helps if you can talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. If my wife is watching right now, I want her to know, don't just get me slippers. That will not. But then maybe, I guess, if you think long term, they'll make up for it at Valentine's Day, if you can make it to Valentine's Day, right? Any other, in our last 30 seconds, quick tips that you have for folks?
I think you've got to keep it fun, and you've got to make sure that you think about in advance, because there are going to be tensions. We can't avoid that with Christmas. So if the in-laws are over, or there's something that comes up that you can start to feel your anger coming up, then take some deep breaths and think about it before. Maybe go for a walk. Don't let that escalate. Remember, we can control how we feel by dialing down those negative emotions. So have fun and keep that sparkle alive, I think, with the love too.
That sounds great. Sarah, thank you so much again for being here. We always have fun.
Oh, thanks so much.
Yeah, right. And Daytime will be right back.